Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. In this game, we'll see the Los Angeles Clippers against the Boston Celtics here in Boston. Our broadcast team tonight, on one side, Greg Anthony. On the other side, Steve Smith. And on the sideline, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. DA, it's all yours.
Thank you, Kevin. Marcus Smart stands 6'3", but he said, I can guard bigs, so I started making a joke. I'm a stretch 6. Forget a stretch 5. My teammates loved it, and it just stuck with me. He added, I'm the youngest of 4 boys, so I've been up against bigger guys. For me, that means nothing. Kevin?
Stretch 6. I love that. Great stuff, David. Thank you. And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for Eric Bledsoe.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Baca is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Zubats in at the 5. And for the Celtics, Smart in the backcourt with Brown to his side. Tatum out there with Horford. And it's Williams at the 5 roaming the paint. For the teams that are clearly rebuilding, Greg, should they simply play the young guns no matter what, or should they make them earn their minutes?
I think there should be a combination, and as long as guys are pros and really approaching the game the right way, you want to give them an opportunity to grow, and also it gives you a chance to evaluate them.
Now here's Horford. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
An elite distributor for a big man. Horford is the kind of guy you want to play basketball with.
The shot by George, no good. For the Celtics, they come into this one following a loss to the Timberwolves in Minnesota.
Yeah, in that one, the shot selection wasn't terrible, but they had to tighten it up. That did not happen.
They never really got into a rhythm, despite trying a few different things. Sometimes it's just not your night.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
To the left wing. Horford kicks to Smart. Outside Tatum. The Celtics working the ball around now. Just 4 to shoot. There's the triple.
What do you love about Serge on this end? Has the lateral quickness and hops to really challenge shooters.
Horford the pass to Brown. And a miss there on the triple. Outside George. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. And stolen by Horford. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Smart leading the charge. A second chance effort. They grabbed their own miss. Williams. Another miss. Boy, they had their chance there, but couldn't get it to go. Smart against Jackson. Pass to George. Back to Jackson. Four on the clock. He can't get that one to fall. And it's Boston the other way. Takes a step back. Outside Tatum. Smart against Jackson. Knocked away. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Tatum. That's short off the rim.
Can't fault the play call. Even though he couldn't convert, that's a good shot.
And you think back to that 2017 draft, scouts trying to poke holes in Tatum's game, but really, he just needed a little time to develop his skills and get stronger.
Now, here's George. He's a guy we see deliver on a nightly basis, averaging about 24.5 points a game.
Oh, my God, they can't buy one. 0 for 4. Sometimes this happens.
Williams, a screen on George. Goes back up. And Williams with the layup.
Yeah, hard trying to keep Williams off the boards. He makes it a mission to keep possessions alive.
So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Williams, he's checked in for Williams. Richardson comes in for Jason Tatum. Pritchard, he's checked in for Brown. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Smart. A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Ibaka. Mann comes in for Ivica Zubac. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for George. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Bledsoe against Schroeder. Bledsoe kicks to Batum. Back to Bledsoe to end the cold streak. Rebound Boston.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Back to Schroeder. And it's blocked. 1:15 left to play in the first quarter. Mann passes to Bledsoe. Batum sets a screen for Bledsoe. Rebound by Williams.
I'll tell you what, I think he thought that was going in. I sure did.
Pass to Richardson. Williams sets a screen for Richardson. Takes it inside. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And with Josh Richardson, they love his size in the backcourt and his mobility. He moves extremely well.
There's the pick. Right wing. 4 on the shot clock. Kennard, the pass to Mann, takes a 3. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Clippers trail by 6 to the middle. And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Defense doesn't get much better than the mobile 1 block we just saw on replay.
And an early swat like that can really set the tone. Now the shooters will be feeling his presence.
There's 14 seconds left to play here in the first. Schroeder against Bledsoe. Passes it to Pritchard. 1 second left. And that does it for the first quarter. Celtics lead by 6. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And the Celtics guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, they were very physical and very aggressive. They just been the better team so far.
And we all know basketball is a game of runs, but Steve, why can it so often seesaw like that? 1 minute a team is ice cold. The next, they can't miss.
I think confidence is such a big part of the game. Also rhythm. When you see shots fall, it snowballs. On the other hand, when you can't take the lid off of it, that confidence can go another direction.
Outside, the wings are Brown and Tatum. Williams is out there with Williams, and it's Schroeder in at the point guard position. That's the Boston 5. Now here's Williams. They lead by 6, their biggest margin.
The quick thinking of Tatum. You have to be impressed with how he readies himself to shoot before he gets the ball.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Kawhi Leonard keeps it simple. He says, I'm trying to be the best player I can be. I'm happy with what I've done in my career, and I'm just going to keep on from there. It's not about being famous. It's about playing basketball.
Thank you. And the Celtics making a change here. Smart's checked in. Zubats is checked in for the Clippers. Just over him. Here's George. And the rejection by Tate. George. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Shot clock at 2. Zubats no good.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Smart passes to Tatum. Shoots over Zubats. That one off the back iron and out. Clippers trail by 8.
And we all know what George brings offensively. But it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor.
Outside for Bledsoe. Zubats a screen on Brown. Bledsoe, and he lays it straight in.
And there are few with a more explosive first step than Bledsoe. Gets the angle at will.
Bledsoe against Tatum. Williams sets a screen for Tatum. Rises to the hoop. And slam dunk by Tatum.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
That's a big-time move and a big-time finish.
It's George on the wing and stolen by Tatum. Free throw line jump shot. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
I like it. That's a great battle at the rim. He just couldn't finish.
And with Paul George in his defense, Greg, you almost forget how great of an impact it makes.
He just kind of flies under the radar with his defensive play. I mean, this guy could be considered for the Defensive Player of the Year almost every year. One of the more disruptive forces on that end of the floor.
Al Horford is checked in for the Celtics. Pritchard comes in for Williams. And then for Los Angeles, Marcus Morris is checked in for Batum. Mann comes in for George. And it's Luke Kennard in for Eric Bledsoe. And that one drops for him. Tatum's got the lead up to 10 now for the Celtics.
Adding to this lead, he's been dependable and consistent at the offensive end.
.132 left in the second quarter. Zubats with the screen for Jackson. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And stolen by Horford. Here's Tatum. It's not going to go for him. And the Clippers will come the other way. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
And that was a game to forget. You'd like to find some teachable moments, but I think they'd like to just turn the page and move forward.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we overanalyze things. Can be better to just let it go.
Here's Mann. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Another shot. Zubats no good. Boston leading by 10. Here's Pritchard. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
And it wasn't just the points. He brought hustle. He brought energy. And he brought it on the glass.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. after Jaylen Brown's three-pointer that didn't go. To the paint, and stolen by Tatum. And Tatum with a clear path to the hoop. And the dunk by Tatum.
And you see the length of Tatum on that play. Long arms to pick the ball, and then the long strides up the court.
Can they get it? That one doesn't go. What a performance for Jason Tatum. He has been the story so far for the Celtics. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display.
Hello, everybody. We're here to break it all down, and through the first half of play, it's a very commanding lead for the Boston Celtics. Now, if we're to chart their dominance on a scale of 0 to Shaq, big fella, where do they land?
I'm glad you asked me, Ernie. According to my Shaqulations, let's see, carry the one, rebound, PPG, ASG, over the whole numbers. 0.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay, we'll give him a 1.
Now let's talk first half. The production from Jason Tatum has been special. He is in the zone.
All I can say, he's been MFPS, and that stands for Most Frequent Prolific Scorer. If you don't know anything about me, he's been efficient. He's really the man driving the force of their offense. Look, when he's rolling like this, good luck slowing him down.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You know, guys, Jason Tatum has really been making it happen.
That first half looked like a dunk contest mixtape. Was just destroying the rim.
And these weren't just putbacks and alley-oops. He was roaring to the rim and finishing.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, the guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Ibaka is out there with Ivica Zubac. Ibaka for 3, and it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. We have got to see that sensational mobile one block again.
Sharp instincts on D there. Just timing when to rise up and swat that one away.
Jackson against Smart. Brown outside. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. And the Celtics lead by 14.
Assertive shot from Brown. Once he has the ball, he quickly makes a selection and commits.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Zubac.
Well, with Zubac on the floor, you know what you'll get. Gives great effort when he's engaged.
Also, the plus is, GA, he does a good job of rim running. He also dives well off pick and rolls, and combined with his offensive rebounding, gives you some size in the middle.
Yep, that one goes. Williams has got his second bucket tonight.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
George against Brown. Outside Jackson. Good work defensively by Smart. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. And the basket by Horford.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
This has been an impressive performance tonight. Even with a big lead, they've maintained their focus.
Now, here is George. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Ibaka with the screen on Brown. Here's George. Drops it in from 11 feet.
Facing up from mid-range, George could have tried to drive, but takes what the defense gives him.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Williams, he's checked in for Robert Williams. Josh Richardson comes in for Jason Tatum. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Marcus Smart. And then for Los Angeles, Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Zubats. And it's Eric Bledsoe in for Jackson. Boston leading by 16. Horford with the screen on Bledsoe. Here's Schroeder. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Batum. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
And a moment here to look at some of the stats for Dennis Schroeder. Averaging about 16 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And most of all, you have to love the defensive grit he brings to games when he comes off the bench.
Absolutely. Just when you think you've got a good flow going as a scorer, he'll come and shut your water off.
Now here's Brown. Nicholas Batum unable to get his shot to go. It's Brown with the drive.
And just awesome speed from Brown, blasting off towards the bucket and slamming it down.
Now that he's attracting so much defensive attention, Greg, Brown is routinely getting others involved.
And how about his assist numbers have skyrocketed? And it's really not surprising. His sole focus is doing what's best for the team.
Tries from 10. Horford with the rebound.
Only 1 for 4 in this half. Sometimes it's execution. Sometimes the shots just don't go down.
Williams sets a screen for Richardson. Brown outside. It's hauled in by the Clippers. 1:56 left to play in the third. And Batum kicks to George. Up and in on the layup.
Excellent pass, PG-13, keeping his eyes up, using his vision.
Brown outside. Shoots over Batum. That's tipped, and they get it back. Richardson gets a wide open look. The shot's good on the assist by Horford.
And the execution has just been off defensively here in the second. Play after play, it's almost as if they're a step slow.
Now here is George. Five to shoot. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark.
The struggle is real. He's been way off with his shot all evening long.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. The Celtics made the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times over 4 seasons, but last season, injuries and COVID protocols knocked them down a peg. Ownership and management are patiently staying the course. And with their young star talent, this team still has room to improve from within. Guys, back to you.
Well, their upside in a lot of people's view remains. David, thanks. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Schroeder passes to Williams. It's stolen by Ibaka. Left side, Batum. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Batum's got his first points of the night.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
And George gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Seven seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Schroeder. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. It's the Celtics leading by 17. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, you also have the location of the pass. Puts it right where it needs to be, where his man can do something with it.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Horford is out there with Williams. Then there's Smart. Then there's Jason Tatum. And it's Pritchard in at the 1 spot. That's the Boston 5. Back to Tatum. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
An incredible leaper at 6'8". Tatum is difficult to stop down low.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And Luke Kennard signing a 4-year deal at the end of 2020. Steve, this team feels he can be a big part of their future.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised at the size of the contract, Kevin, but it shows how much the three-pointer is valued in the NBA. The Clippers saw he provides a much-needed aspect.
And the first one at the line is good.
The sharpshooter Kennard is valuable, a guy who stretches the floor and works very hard.
So he gets them both. Celtics leading by 17. Here's Pritchard. Horford with a screen on Jackson. Pritchard passes to Horford. Connects from three-point range.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Here's Mann, guarded by Tatum. And the call will be against Al Horford. That is his first foul of the game. You know, Steve, we've seen a few times in recent years in Cleveland and Indiana, for example, a new coach gets fired in year 1.
Yes, Kevin, losing a locker room can do that to you. It's embarrassing for those teams. When you know it's not working, you better not delay the inevitable.
Paul George is checked in for the Clippers. Now here's Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Over Smart. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Smart.
The burst of Jackson makes him a hard guy to stick with and difficult not to foul him.
And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Celtics.
They've been playing such pesky defense. It's been very impressive, especially all the turnovers they've caused.
Take a break.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
And that one falls for Jackson.
You know, he was the 24th pick in 2011. I think it's safe for us to say Jackson's outplayed that draft slot.
Jaylen Brown's checked in for Pritchard. Both free throws good from Jackson. Here's Smart. At the top of the key, Horford. Brown outside. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Horford's got 3 assists in the game. George against Horford. And it's sent back by Horford.
And still capable of being your defensive anchor. Horford is excellent at positioning himself to block shots.
Good on the bucket.
And Kevin, after being unable to find the net in the first half, they sure seem to be a different team here in the second.
The pass to George. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. 6 on the shot clock. Kennard with the ball. Williams picks him up. Kennard's shot is off.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Smart passes to Brown. Right side Horford. Inside. Here's Tatum. They get it back. The kick out to Brown. Outside Horford. Williams passes to Smart. Back to Williams. Over Kennard. Not enough on that one as it misses.
He looked just a little out of rhythm. He's still trying to establish consistency from there.
Looking to get back on track here. And the layup by George.
Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
Brown outside. Looking back at the previous decade, Steve, in the NBA, super teams have been dominant in the league. Do you like the ones with 2 or 3 stars?
You know, each has its advantages, Kevin. The 2-star model allows for a deep bench. We saw that with AD and LeBron in LA. But the 3-star alignment, a la the Brooklyn Nets, those can be potent on the offensive end. Both work if you're raising up those trophies.
Now, here's Kennard after Jaylen Brown's miss. And the 3 off target.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Celtics.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And so they're able to even up the season series at a game apiece with one left to play, exacting a little revenge and really saving face. They did not want to go down 2-0.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jason Tatum.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Now, here's Kennard, following the miss by Al Horford. Kennard, the pass to Zubac. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Outside, George. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Misses off the left iron. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.